In this video, I'm going to show you how we can set up a full PowerPoint report based on interim data and then swap it out for your final data in just a few clicks. It's not always possible, but being able to set up your report based on interim data can be useful for a number of reasons. Number one, your client might be particularly picky and want everything set up in a very specific way. This process enables you to agree the setup with your client ahead of receiving your final data. Number two, maybe your client is in a real bind and needs the results yesterday. Being able to refresh the report and deliver it the same day as your field work is closing will win you some huge kudos with the client. Number three, perhaps you have 3 or 4 projects all coming to a head the same week. Being able to get things set up before you even get out of field is probably going to save you some long days and sleepless nights. So let's jump in. Here I have my template that's been fully agreed with my client's super picky design team. Everything's laid out exactly as they want it. And then I also have my interim data. So you see I've got 975 completes, but I have all my tables produced just as I would do as if it was final data. Jumping into SlideGen, I've already uploaded both and done most of the mapping, but I do just want to show you a few things. Many of these slides will be familiar to you, especially if you've watched some of the other videos, but you can see here that I've mapped data to each of these objects. I will have already done some sorting and stuff like that as well. I've even mapped data to each of these boxes. On this slide, I have already populated it with data. I've performed a few data transformations. I've sorted the data from high to low. I have filtered by text search to remove the none of these answer option. And then I've anchored my label wild roots to the start of the table. So it's always going to appear here on the left-hand side. I've also applied some sig testing. I've tested each and every one of these rows against wild roots. Next, I actually want to repeat this for 3 other tables. So I'm just going to hit repeat slide. And I want to do this for Q1, Q2, and Q3. Hit OK. Everything's worked as expected. There we go. So now I have an aided awareness version. And you can see here it's also repeated those transformations that we applied before. So my sort has been copied over, my filter and my anchor, and then also my sig testing as well. I've got that for purchases and consideration. And let's do the same here as well. This is just for the individual segments, but I want to repeat this for those 3 tables again. Q1, Q2, Q3. This is my entire report based on interim data. Technically, this whole report could be exported and quality checked at this stage, even signed off by the client at this point as well, saving you even more time in the long run. You also have the added benefit of having reviewed the tables ahead of the final run, so you should have no last minute back and forth with your data team once your final data is ready. Speaking of which, once your final data is ready, you've collected your last few completes, this is where you're going to really see the benefit. Here I have my new set of tables. I now have 2,334 completes compared to the 975 that we had before. And of course, most or all of our percentages will have changed, meaning the sig testing results will be different. The order from high to low might be different where we've sorted the data, and much, much more. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take these new tables and we're going to import them to the platform against that project. To upload the new set of tables, you just head over to data sources, upload your data, and then if we just pick a slide where you might see some big differences. Okay, let's go here. So firstly, if we keep an eye on these numbers, 34, 25, 41, also the sample size and all of the other percentages as well. So if I click on switch data, select the file. We've already uploaded one other file, which is our final data source. So that's the one we're going to select. Check compatibility. We don't have any compatibility issues. And there we go. All of our percentages here have changed. So we now have 38%, 27%, 35%. Any other data will have updated. My sample size here is now 2,334 as expected. And that's the same with each and every one of those slides, even the ones that we duplicated. So if the order needed to change, the order will have changed. The SIG testing will have been reapplied, everything like that. And even if we go down to here where we had the individual sample sizes, those have all updated as well. So now we can export to PowerPoint. And just like that, we have our final report that's ready to go over to the customer. Because all of the data is mapped and the transformations, including the SIG testing, have all been reapplied, you don't even need to do a detailed quality check at this stage because you've probably already done it on the interim data. So to recap, building in this process of setting up your reports based on interim data and then swapping them out for final data is perfect if you're looking to improve your time management for your research team, your quality checking team, and your data team. And of course, you should end up with happier customers as well.